Hello friends and welcome to Pendulum Video. Today we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 7 July 2020. So friends, quickly join this session and also ask your friends to join this session. And those who have not subscribed to our channel Pendulum Video, please subscribe it and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications and keep following daily current affairs. In this series, we discuss daily current affairs along with important MCQs related to the news. Now let's start the session. First news is Indian Air Force involved in locust control operations in Rajasthan, and this is the first time in the history of Air Force that it has participated in such an event. And we all know that a locust attack is going on with various districts of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana, and the central government is putting in effort to control this locust attack. And latest technology and equipment such as drones and Bell helicopters, they are being used to control this threat. Air Force Mi-17 helicopter sprayed pesticides on large desert land and in Jodhpur district. And also Food and Agriculture Organization, that is FAO of the United Nations, it has advised India to be vigilant and highly prepared during the next weeks, because this locust attack can cause threat to the food security in the country. Therefore, FAO has issued a warning. And FAO, talking about FAO, it is one of the specialized agencies of the United Nations. It is one of the specialized agencies of UN, and this FAO, it has its headquarters in Rome, Italy. And this is mainly responsible for ensuring food security in the region and everywhere in the world, and it also aims to fulfill the sustainable development goal number 2, that is related to zero hunger. Okay, now moving to the question part. Which of these states is not currently affected by locust attacks? Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Kerala. Quickly comment the correct answer. Which of these states are not affected by locust attacks? The correct answer is option D, that is Kerala. Now moving to the next news. Confederation of All India Traders, or CAIT, it has appealed not to include two Chinese companies, that is Huawei Technologies and ZTE Corporation, in the 5G network auction process in the country. And as we all know that India is now planning to set up 5G networks in the country, as it has high speed. It has the highest speed, downloading speed, it's very high for 5G networks, and this has many advantages over the currently existing 3G and 4G networks. And for this bidding process, Huawei Technologies and ZTE Corporation are not required to be involved. This has been asked by CAIT, that is Confederation of All India Traders. And these two Chinese companies, they were in news recently because US and Australia, they have already banned these both companies. And these companies were banned because they were accused of conspiracy, money laundering, bank and wire fraud. Also, this traders body, it has started a countrywide campaign named Bharatiya Samman Hamara Abhiman, because it calls for boycott of Chinese products following the India-China dispute with LAC in the Galwan Valley, which we all know that there was a dispute going on between India and China in the Galwan Valley. And in the view of this dispute, the traders body, it has called for boycotting of Chinese products, and also India has banned 59 Chinese apps including TikTok and others. Hello TikTok, those apps have been banned by India. Now moving to the question part. Huawei Technologies and ZTE Corporation, these are the technology companies of which country? Quickly comment the correct answer. Russia, USA, China and Japan. Very easy question. The correct answer will be option C, that is China. Moving to the next news. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel COVID Hospital has been inaugurated in New Delhi, and this was ready in a record time of only 12 days. This has been built by Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, along with the Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Health, Armed Forces, Tata Sons and other private players. The construction of this hospital started on 23rd June and now it is ready to use, and it has been inaugurated on 5th July. This has 1000 bed hospitals with 250 ICU beds, and this is fully air conditioned and it is spread over 25,000 square meters. Ventilators and monitoring equipment, they have been installed on each ICU bed, and this hospital, it will be operated by armed forces, medical service doctors, nurses and health workers, and DRDO will be responsible for maintaining this hospital. And the hospital also has psychology counseling center because it is very essential. Patients sent by the district administration to this hospital, they will be admitted and they will be treated free of cost. Also, the people who will be critically suffering from the disease, they will be sent to All India Institute of Medical Sciences, that is AIIMS, New Delhi, for further treatment. Moving to the question part. In record time of 12 days, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel COVID Hospital has been built by which of the following? DRDO, ISC, CSIR, IIT. What will be the correct answer for this? Guys, keep commenting the correct answer and hit the like button. The correct answer for this will be option A, that is DRDO. And Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was in news recently because the National Unity Awards, which were instituted in 2019 in the name of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the nomination dates have been extended to 31st August, and these awards, they will be presented on 31st October, which is the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, which is also celebrated as Ekta Divas. So keep connecting the news. This will be very helpful. It will help you in revising the concepts. Now moving to the next news. CBSE announced the launch of free and comprehensive training programs for teachers and students of affiliated school, and this training program, it has been launched in partnership with Facebook. So Facebook and CBSE, they'll be jointly running a program which is a 3 weeks augmented reality program for 10,000 teachers, and also for students there is a digital security and welfare program that will train 10,000 students, and these participants, whether they are teachers or students, they will be receiving a joint e-certificate from CBSE and Facebook upon the successful completion of the course. The duration of the course is 3 weeks for both students and teachers, and they will be finally getting e-certificate after successful completion of this course. And this is a good opportunity, and also this is a good initiative because during the lockdown, the students and teachers, they will be able to add something to their knowledge. Now moving to the question part. Recently, CBSE has announced to launch free and comprehensive training programs for teachers and students of affiliated schools through partnership with which of the following? Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram. Quickly comment the correct answer. CBSE has partnered with which social media platform? The correct answer is option B, that is Facebook. Moving to the next news. Indigenously developed COVID-19 vaccine has joined the race of vaccines being prepared in the world against this pandemic, and successful results, they are being expected from Covaxin, which is supposed to be launched by 15th of August after the successful trials, human clinical trials which have been started. And this Covaxin, it is manufactured by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with ICMR. This Bharat Biotech, it is located in Hyderabad, and Zy-Cov-D vaccine, which is developed by Zydus Cadila. And out of the 140 vaccines which have been developed worldwide, only 11 vaccines have entered the human trials, out of which Covaxin and Zy-Cov-D are the 2 Indian vaccines. Recently, Drug Controller General of India, DCGI, he has approved the human trial for the vaccines developed in India. And in the last few years, India has emerged as a major center for vaccine production in the world, and around 60% of the vaccines which are supplied to UNICEF, they are manufactured in India. And apart from this, the important institute of ICMR, which is National Institute of Virology, which is located in Pune, and the central Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology of CSIR, which is located in Hyderabad. These two, along with 6 Indian pharmaceutical companies, they are engaged in making COVID-19 vaccines. So let's see that the vaccines which are developed by India, will they be successful or not, and will this co-vaccine, it will be launched by 15th of August or not. Moving to the question part, which vaccine from India has been included in 11 out of over 140 vaccines developed worldwide for treatment of COVID-19? ZyCoV-D, Covaxin, both of the above or none of the above? So what will be the correct answer for this? Quickly comment. Keep commenting the correct answer. The correct answer will be option C, that is ZyCoV-D and Covaxin. These both are included for the treatment of COVID-19. Moving to the next news. World Zoonosis Day. It is celebrated every year on 6th July to commemorate the discovery of first vaccine against a zoonotic disease. Louis Pasteur on 6th July 1885 administered the first vaccine against rabies virus, and therefore this day is celebrated on 6th July. The day also aims to raise awareness regarding the spread of zoonotic diseases. Zoonoses or zoonotic diseases are the infectious diseases that spread from animals to human through direct contact with infected animals, and these can be caused by bacteria, virus or parasites. They can also spread through indirect contact through food or any other vector. Most common zoonosis diseases are plague, rabies, tuberculosis, scabies, roundworms, etc. Now moving to the question part, on which day World Zoonosis Day is celebrated every year? Quickly comment the correct answer. 1st July, 4th July, 6th July and 10th July. What will be the correct answer for this? Quickly comment. The correct answer will be option C, that is 6th July. On 1st July, National Doctors Day is celebrated. National Doctors Day is celebrated in India. And on 4th July, American Independence Day is celebrated. Okay, moving to the next news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Atmanirbhar Bharat Innovation Challenge, and this challenge, it aims to identify the best Indian apps that are already being used by citizens and they have the ability to scale and become world-class apps in their category. The Ministry of Electronics and IT or MeitY is in partnership with Atal Innovation Mission, which is the mission of Niti Aayog, has launched this challenge, and this challenge it will be run in 2 tracks. The track 1 will promote the pre-existing apps, and track 2 will aim at development of new apps. And under this track 1 challenge, there are basically 8 broad categories, that is office productivity and work from home, social networking, e-learning, entertainment, health and business including agri-tech and fintech, news and games. And some of the key evaluation parameters, it will include ease of use of the app, its robustness, security and scalability. And with this challenge, existing apps will gain better visibility and clarity to achieve their goals. So this is a good initiative of the Government of India to promote the existing apps in different categories, which we have seen just now, and also promoting the development of new apps, which is required right now. Moving to the question part. Recently, which ministry has launched Atmanirbhar Bharat Innovation Challenge? Quickly comment the correct answer. Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Ministry of HRD and Ministry of Finance. So which ministry has launched Atmanirbhar Bharat Innovation Challenge? The correct answer will be option B, that is Ministry of Electronics and IT. Moving to the next news. 5 years of continuous airing of DD News of Sanskrit News Magazine, Vartavali. Recently, Sanskrit News Magazine, which is Vartavali, it has completed 5 years of continuous airing or broadcasting on DD News, and its continuous broadcasting program on DD News has made an incredible contribution to the spread of Sanskrit language globally. And we all know that Sanskrit is one of the 22 official languages of India, which is mentioned in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So this schedule, it is important. Many a times questions have been asked that the official languages of India, they are mentioned under which schedule of the Indian Constitution. So the correct answer will be 8th schedule. Moving to the question part, Vartavali, which has been in news, is a weekly dash news magazine, Hindi, English, Sanskrit or Tamil. Quickly comment the correct answer. From the name you can identify Vartavali. The correct answer will be option C, that is Sanskrit. Moving to the next news, Intezar Aapka campaign, it has begun in Madhya Pradesh and it has been started on various social media platforms. Through this campaign, Madhya Pradesh Tourism Board is attracting tourists to visit various tourist places in Madhya Pradesh, which are related to various religious, natural and archaeological sites such as Mahakaleshwar. So Mahakaleshwar temple, it is a famous Hindu temple and it is dedicated to Lord Shiva, Mahakaleshwar. So many people visit over there. Then Panchmari, Kana, Bandhavgarh, there are tiger reserves over here and national parks are located. So these places are important because questions have been asked in many exams related to the national parks, the location of national parks. So the Panchmari, Kana, Bandhavgarh, these are located in Madhya Pradesh, and also Amarkantak. It is an important place in Madhya Pradesh to visit. So quickly comment that which Indian rivers emerge from Amarkantak plateau. Quickly comment the correct answer. Very famous rivers, Narmada and Son. These are the two major rivers which emerge from Amarkantak. All preparations, they have been made by the board keeping in mind the safety standards in the prevention of spread of COVID-19. Now moving to the question part. Recently, which state tourism department has started Intezar Aapka campaign? Kerala, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Bihar. Quickly comment the correct answer. Very easy question. Which state has launched this Intezar Aapka campaign? Option C will be the correct answer, that is Madhya Pradesh. So Madhya Pradesh government is launching so many schemes. So those who are preparing for MPPCS, this will be an important news for all of them. Moving to the next news, inauguration of world's largest COVID care center at Radha Swami Satsang Beas, Delhi. So recently this COVID care center, it was inaugurated by Delhi's Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal at Radha Swami Satsang Beas in Delhi, and this is the largest COVID-19 care center worldwide, which has more than 10,000 beds, and this has been built by Indo-Tibetan Border Police in Chhatarpur, Delhi. So ITBP, talking about ITBP, it was formed in 1962 in the wake of Indo-China War, and it is one of the 7 armed forces of CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces, and its headquarters, these are located in New Delhi, and the current Director General of this ITBP is SS Deswal. More than 1,000 doctors, nurses and paramedic staff of ITBP and other CAPFs have been deployed to operate this COVID care center smoothly. Moving to the question part. Recently, where is the world's largest COVID-19 care center inaugurated? Varanasi, Madurai, Bhubaneswar and Delhi. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer will be option D, that is Delhi. Moving to the next news. China also claimed the eastern region of Bhutan. Recently, China has doubled its claim and now it is claiming the eastern region of Bhutan, where this Sakteng Wildlife Sanctuary is located. China claimed that this wildlife sanctuary is located in a disputed region between China and Bhutan, and therefore it is asserting its claim, while Bhutan says that it is an integral part of its territory and also its national sovereignty. Therefore, the claim of China is false. And last month, China attempted to withhold funding for Sakteng Sanctuary under the Global Environment Facility of the United Nations Development Program, but this GEF, that is Global Environment Facility, it has finally approved the funding for Sakteng Sanctuary, and the border between China and Bhutan has never been demarcated, and the two countries, that is Bhutan and China, they have no formal diplomatic relations, but they have held 24 rounds of boundary talks between 1984 and 2016. And after the issue, or you can say standoff between the armies of India and China in Doklam in 2017, the two countries have not held meeting, that is Bhutan and China. They have not considered any round of talk to resolve the boundary disputes. And it has been said that this claim is being made by China to punish Bhutan because it is a good neighboring country or a friendly neighboring country to India, and or it can be a reason that China wants to distract the attention because whatever happened in Galwan Valley, so to divert the focus from the Galwan Valley to this region, this has been said by Chinese officials during the 58th Council of the Global Environment Facility. There are basically three major disputed regions between Bhutan and China, that is Jakarlung and Pasumlung in the north and the Chumbi Valley in the west where Doklam is located. And there was no mention during these 24 rounds of talk about the eastern Bhutan, and now China is claiming the eastern Bhutan as well. Talking about Global Environment Facility, it was established on October 1991. It was established to help the earth tackle most of the environmental problems, and it is under the United Nations Development Program. Its headquarters is located in Washington DC, United States. Now moving to the question part, in which country is the Sakteng Wildlife Sanctuary located? Nepal, China, Bhutan and India. Quickly comment the correct answer where this wildlife sanctuary is located. India, Nepal, China, Bhutan. The correct answer will be option C, that is Bhutan. Moving to the next news. Scientists in Italy, they are investigating the mysterious presence of pink glacial ice in the Alps, which is said to be caused by algae. And recently Lonar Lake, which is located in Maharashtra, it was in news because the water turned pink, and the reason that were cited were major two reasons were there: presence of algae and another was the salinity of the lake. And something similar over here can be seen in the glacial ice, that there is pink glacial ice in the Alps mountains, and this has said to be caused by algae. And this action, it will intensify the effects of climate change. Biagio Di Moro of the National Research Council of Italy said that pink snow seen on the parts of Presina Glacier, it is caused by the same plant known as Encyclonemia nordenskioldi, which is located in Greenland. And as we all know that ice, it reflects more than 80% of the sun's radiation back into the atmosphere, but due to the presence of the algae which has darkened the ice, so it will be quickly absorbing the heat and it will be melting the glaciers very quickly. That will add to the effects of climate change, that is rising of temperature, and also due to melting of ice, the cases of floods will be there. So it will so the scientists, therefore, they are investigating the mysterious presence of this pink glacial ice in the Alps. Now moving to the question part, the Alps mountain is located in which of the following continents? Asia, Europe, America and Africa. Quickly comment the correct answer where the Alps mountains are located. The correct answer will be option B, that is Europe. Moving to the next news. A case of suspected bubonic plague registered in China's Inner Mongolia region, and for this, Health Committee of Bayan Nur has issued a third level alert. Plague cases are not uncommon in China, but the outbreak continues to increase. From 2009 to 2018, there have been 26 cases and 11 deaths in China. Talking about bubonic plague, it is a rare but serious bacterial infection. It is spread by flea, which is called pissu in Hindi, and bubonic plague, it is caused by bacterium Yersinia pestis. Plague is a zoonotic disease and that it affects rodents and it is transmitted by fleas from rodents to other animals and humans. Direct person to person transmission does not occur except in the case of pneumonic plague, where respiratory drops can transfer the infection from patient to the other people in close contact. And in the Middle Ages, this was known as the Black Death. Now let's see a question related to the news. Bubonic plague is caused due to which of the following: bacteria, virus, fungi and algae? Comment quickly the correct answer. Option A will be the correct answer, that is bacteria. So friends, here we have covered the daily current affairs and related questions of 7 July 2020. I hope you are daily following this session. Keep following it and press the like button if you like this session. Keep sharing it, and if you have any doubt, please mention that in comment box. And you can download the monthly current affairs of June from the description which is given below. And also you can join us on our Telegram channel where study material is available for you all. And keep preparing well. All the best guys. Thank you so much.